So today I'm flying to Toronto on LATAM, Brazil. And it's my first time trying them, so I'm pretty excited. I also managed to get a great deal. Business outbound, economy inbound for $250. Looks pretty good from here. Let's have a look. And there's a Tom 70, no sorry, a Lon 787. Here's my plane. So here we have it, the American Airlines Admiral Lounge at JFK, which is available to international first class passengers, international business class passengers, passengers flying on other airlines than American in business class, and A Advantage and One World elite flyers. Interestingly, you cannot visit the lounge if you're flying American Airlines from JFK to Toronto, but you can if you're flying LATAM from JFK to Toronto, which is something to keep in mind. As you can see, the view from the lounge is also pretty epic, so if you're a plane fan or just like looking at planes taxi around, this is a great place to sit and soak in the view. There's also a little bar with some food, but unfortunately it was closed today, so I couldn't really check out the options or the different prices of the products available. Luckily, as in most airline lounges though, there is a little self-serve area with some pretzels, cereals. Of course, you can't be in New York without having bagels. So there's just a few different choices in case you're peckish, and I think it's really great and I appreciate that there at least is something to eat. Boarding started 1 hour before departure, which I found was a little odd, especially given that the flight time was just about 1 hour to Toronto. But as you can see, the crew were really nice and polite, and they even helped several passengers get to their seats, like you can see with the lady in front of me here while boarding. And that, I think, is just a really nice touch to see that the crew are genuinely concerned with their passengers. So here's a little view of the seat, and surprisingly, or I guess unfortunately, there's already a crying baby on board, as you can hear. Just generally, I think there's a lot of storage area in this seat, especially if you reach forward. You get storage areas next to the video monitors, and also by the foot area under these in-flight magazines, where I stored my water bottle and a few other little random things. There's also a great amount of legroom just for lounging in this seat, which I think is great, and you really feel like there's a lot of space around you when you sit here. You also get about 3 windows, which I think is great. The cabin actually ended up being completely full, which also surprised me, but then again, given the price, not really. There was also a pre-departure beverage, which was great. The tray table folds out right from under the armrest like this, and it was pretty easy to maneuver compared to some other business class tray tables that I have experienced. As you can see, the seat controls are also right next to there, and there's also a little compartment for smaller things such as cell phones, passports, little things you really want to keep close to you at all times during the flight. As you can see, there's also a headphone jack right under the seat controls, a remote to your side, right or left depending on what seat you're in. And of course, there's a power port and a USB port next to the seat, which is super handy for charging phones, cameras, anything like that. Another little nickel in the seat, but I don't really mind, especially since this was only a 1 hour flight. It's not like I'll hurt myself on those seat parts. There's also a handy little reading light right next to your head, and an adjustable headrest, which I love. So I don't usually complain about this kind of stuff, but the cabin smells sort of strange. Like, that was my first reaction when I walked on the plane. I also like that you can see the different commuting times in their in-flight magazine. And they include public transport, I guess, GPS, private car, whatever, which is pretty nice. Let's see where we're going. Do they have Toronto? There we go, Toronto Pearson. No note on public transport, but they do have all the arrival and departure terminals too, which is pretty nice. This is a great magazine so far as well, although the crew have only come by once.
Contacted the main guard of this aircraft.
Although the crew have only come by once, they seem very nice, and I've seen them helping tons of passengers. I also thought I'd get used to the smell, but I still smell it like 40 minutes later. And it's just really weird. Like, I can't place what it is. It's not bad, it's just sort of... Let's have a look at the system then. So I must say I really like the categories and the selection of movies and entertainment. I think it's a great system regardless of whether it's a 1 hour or 10-hour flight. And that was Takeoff. Shortly after departure, I decided to recline my seat just to check out how the recline was and how the seat actually felt in bed mode. So as you can see, they had a hot towel service before they started the meal service, where they went around the cabin one time with beverages and then with a few sandwiches, as you'll see soon. And honestly, this meal was perfectly fine for a flight this short. It tasted great, and although I'm vegetarian now, I certainly enjoyed the meal back then. So after the meal service, I once again tried to get a chance to recline my seat, and for a flight this short, of course, the bed is great. I think I would have slept okay in it. It was not the most comfortable business class bed I've had. It's also extra tough for me, since I'm a tall guy, to find a seat that I can actually sleep well in, and this seat unfortunately is not the best for me, but I think it's perfectly fine, especially if you're a little shorter. And as you can see here, they handed out even some muffins before landing, which is a nice final touch, especially on a flight this length. In conclusion then, I'd say that this TAM flight from New York to Toronto and back is without a doubt the best way to fly between New York and Toronto if you're doing that route, because a wide body on a flight this short is just so fun, and especially if you can get in business class, having a lie flat bed beats a regional jet business class by miles. And the service was great. I had a perfectly nice hour on board, hour and a half on board. And honestly, I'd say that unless you're allergic to strong fragrances or oversensitive to strong smells, there really is no reason not to go ahead and try TAM on this route. I had a great time on board. So until next time, guys, please don't forget to like this video, comment below what you thought. Of course, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, like me on Facebook, and until next time, fly safe.